I think it comes down to being emotionally available enough to take responsibility for the other person's feelings.
Okay, so let's say they get a man or a spouse that's realistically 90% of what they wanted. Okay, no one's perfect. Does she dial down on that aggressiveness? Does she dial down on that mother's behavior, like talking to that man as if that man's her son?
Hey, what do you need, Robert? What do you need? No.
That's a livelihood. That's a livelihood, though. That's a professional setting. If it appears that she's code switching like that, that's the reason. It's not she want to be kissing white butt. I don't get what y'all saying.
No, feel about double standards. How do y'all feel about double standards, right?
There are no double standards. Men are just that savage with how women look,
Men are ATMs, basically.
Okay, all right. This is some other shit.
We don't know that, but again, it's so many cases where men can be dangerous. It's not something y'all have to deal with women for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like, men are also dangerous to other men, so of course they're dangerous to women.
Up in the chat and
that's something. I'm all for it.
I want to know what happened. Come on, recap.
Yeah, what happened?
It's an OG in Baltimore. He used to say, "Let someone else take that ass whipping." But I guess. Okay. Who wants to speak on it? I'm fall back.
I can't. I wasn't there.
But you're here now. You can be anywhere. You can be anywhere. You can be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me.
Say it with your chest.
You shouldn't say anything.
Who put me in there?
Watch him, y'all. Watch him. He's gathering information. He's gathering. That's his specialty. He's like a human AI.
Yeah.
He's gathering information.
Right.
Watch him.
Ain't not joking either.
We need to hear from Ty right now.
Oh, y'all shouldn't do that.
I need the fifth.
Do we have some crazy comments or something? Was it like crazy comments?
See, I didn't watch the whole episode. I saw what was on IG, and what I saw on IG wasn't that crazy, bro. The optics were crazy, but what was actually said, in my opinion, was not offensive, bro. But this conversation is hard to have anyway, bro. It's going to be controversial no matter what, bro.
What's the topic? Because I'm lost.
All right, hold on one second. I'm gonna do something. I got something. Just give me 1 second.
Oh, y'all scared? Oh, y'all scared?
I'm gonna put it up. Now,
when you air this,
I'm not the one endorsing. I'm synthesizing all of the points that were made. And these are not my points myself. I'm just gonna put them out there.
No, we don't need a round two, yo. I wasn't even there, and I don't want a round two.
Where have the men gone in society, bro? Has we stooped this low? Gosh. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness.
It's been a great pod, yo.
Oh my goodness.
It's been a great episode. Yo, Adam L, when you edit this, you need to put the Price is Right, the music, yo. You know what I mean? It was that Price is Right, or is it Jeopardy that? You found me?
Yeah, Jeopardy.
You need to put the Jeopardy music while
but you probably would have to redo the beat, remake the beat, because they copyright strike it. But yeah, it deserves a Jeopardy song.
Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Not really.
All right. So the first thing, I'm just in messages. Don't shoot me. This is synthesizing what happened from the last one. So some of the core arguments that were running through the last video on accountability were these. One of the major ones is women avoid accountability and men are conditioned to accept it. That's the first one. Let's start there.
Oh, he was trembling when he said that.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. That's one of the brothers on here.
Did you hear the cracking in his voice?
I'm just saying.
Did y'all hear the cracking in his voice? Women Accountability.
I'm just a messenger, brother.
Give me an
Y'all got the
example.
counterweights here, the counterpoints here. Go and speak
Give
your
me an
piece.
example.
Where,
Bring that
who's the
passion up.
original statement from?
Say it again.
Like, where did the statement come from?
Oh, where did the statement come from?
So they say the claim is that when women are confronted with a mistake, they deflect either by bringing up something a man did wrong, and I remember that from someone said tit for tat, or by escalating emotionally until a man drops it. Uh, Folks were arguing that it's just easier to just stay quiet or than start a conflict. Again, that's not my statement.
It sounds like
Somebody
whoever
said
wrote
that.
that
I don't know who
statement is a
said that.
man who's projecting his
For
own
sure.
faults onto women altogether. Because in terms of accountability, I have a few stories for you, that's for sure.
Oh,
Who said it?
go
Did you
speak
say
your
it?
piece.
I don't know.
You don't know what you said?
I don't know. I might have said.
Oh,
My thing is like this.
y'all funny.
But I got a question
Y'all
for
not about
Ty.
to get me
No,
on the
I
run.
got
I'm about to
smoke
check
for
the
Ty,
whole.
yo.
Oh,
I got smoke for Ty, yo. Because
All right.
Ty gonna tell us earlier in the chat, right? He gonna say to bring evidence and not opinion and not things that happen to you. But this queen just said that she got stories for us. But you're not telling her to bring a survey. You feel me? Because this is something that is opinion based. So you would have to bring real life evidence into it. There are no surveys. Do black women take accountability? What type of incel site doing some shit like that, bro? How am I supposed to find a survey on that, bro? But you're not going to tell her that she got to leave anecdotal evidence out.
That's funny.
But you gonna tell
I ain't
us
hear a story.
I need to pull up with
See, if I
surveys
heard a
and shit.
story, I'd be able to challenge.
Hey, bro,
I'll see if it's rigorous
did
enough.
he not tell us that we need to bring up surveys and we need to bring up actual facts instead of opinion? But this argument or this debate is not a matter of statistic.
Surveys, okay, if we want to
whether
look
or not
at
black women
evidence
take up
out.
accountability.
I'm just sitting
let's
there.
look at
Let's hear the story.
let's look at the marital homicide rate. It's not women killing men. That looks like a lack of accountability to me. The fact that, probably 95+%, I would have to look at the actual percentage, of marital homicides are man to woman. That sounds like the man wants to escape accountability. He would rather kill his whole family than take accountability for his actions. How many times have you heard of men killing their family after they were caught with an affair partner or whatever it is? So I don't know if we're talking about the right gender here.
No, where's I just have to ask, where's the fact, the statistics for that? What?
Just look up marital homicide.
Okay.
I
Rate,
also want to
I
see
guess.
the racial breakdown of that too, if you don't mind.
Rates for men.
Majority white.
Yeah.
Fellas, don't get cold feet now. Y'all had all this smoke last week.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
all that
Don't
smoke
even include
last
me in.
week.
Hey, yo, I was gone, Lord.
Here you go. You here now. You here now. You're in the
I
ring.
don't have
You're in
nothing
the ring
to
now.
do with this
You
shit,
were being
bro.
quiet.
I'll try to
Why are you quiet?
So let me ask you. I want to step back real fast.
Statistics.
I see what you're saying. I can corroborate what you're saying. But let me ask y'all this one thing. So, what does accountability look like between the genders? What do we each owe each other? Like, I guess we should start by defining it there. Anybody want to take a stab first?
Will look like all right, basically, right? If we have certain things in motion, for example, I get the car repaired at every month, and you cook dinner at the end of the day or whatever, right?
Why she got to cook dinner,
And-
Jan? Why she got to cook dinner?
Now you making her fulfill a gender role. What if she don't want to cook dinner, Jen?
Let him finish his
Hold on. Let him cook. No pun. Let him cook. Let Jan cook.
They on
No
the
pun
hot seat,
intended.
brother.
Let him
They on the
cook.
hot seat.
Hold on. Let Jan cook. No pun intended. Let him
All
cook.
right. So basically, if as a man I fail to fulfill my role, so the question is, how does accountability look in a relationship? So
Yeah.
as a man, I forget to fulfill my role to get the car maintenance or whatever, and my wife takes her car out and it breaks down, right? If she has to catch an Uber back home and complains to me about me not doing my part, and then I deflect or I say, well, or make up some kind of excuse why I couldn't get the car repaired, that's not taking accountability, basically. Did y'all hear me?
Anybody
No,
else?
I heard you fully,
Yeah.
bro. I heard you
Okay.
fully, bro.
Now,
I heard
let
you
me ask
fully.
you this as a follow-up question, Jam. Does accountability have to be uncomfortable? Does it have to be a conflict? Can it just be something that just, be worked out easily, just something seamless? It doesn't.
Not necessarily, because sometimes you can take accountability, but the person that was hurt could still be feeling some type of way, and you got to be willing to accept that. Like if your man or your woman still feel a certain way about your failure, then you just gotta let them, work that out or vent or whatever. But you have to take accountability if you came up short. That's all. It's not as easy as sometimes it's not as easy as I'm sorry, because people want to vent, and you gotta be ready for that. That's what happens in relationships.
Where do we learn this though? Like in terms of accountability, where does that? And this is for anybody. Like what?
I think
Sadly, most people have to learn it through experience.
yeah, I
Sadly.
think it comes from not necessarily your intention. Like you could have done something wrong and you meant to do everything right, but still, whatever you did offended that other person. I think it comes down to being emotionally available enough to take responsibility for the other person's feelings. And if you're not ready to do that, then you're not ready to be in a relationship because a lot of us have so many, feelings and emotions and things going on already when you're in a relationship, you got to deal with theirs too. So
Right.
even if you didn't mean to, if I spilled tea on the sink or something, and for some reason that like triggered my partner, he's like, you know, I'm upset about this. Maybe he's OCD, clean freak,
Right.
right? Like he's upset about the tea on the counter, and it really bothered him. Instead of me being like an asshole, like, oh, I don't care, like, it should be that I hear what he's saying and have empathy and do what I can to make him happy rather than
Right.
putting this emotional guard up about um, you know, your feelings aren't my responsibility. Because in a relationship they are. That's my thing.
But what if that was never modeled in home or at work or in the media or by institutions and so on and so forth? How does someone know to take accountability in those contexts? Because that's something that is still relatively learned.
Hmm.
Let's pod panel. Come on, let's get the elephant out the room.
Uh-oh.
Does accountability does it differ in different races, different cultures?
Yes.
Does thank you. So if the cup of tea analogy, does a woman of color would she react differently in that situation than, let's say, a woman of a different ethnicity, Asian, white, Middle Eastern, so forth? Would she react differently from a woman of color? The woman of color, she may come from a household where everything is argumentative. So you move the tea and she carry on for 15, 20 minutes and you're like, hold on, you're making a mountain out of a molehill where hypothetical, you deal with a woman from, let's say, a certain African culture where she's more like, okay, it's not a big deal. We can get through this. It's just tea. Well, I don't want to use it like that, but her reaction is different. You get what I'm saying? So does this accountability, is it different in different cultures?
But you
And if
gotta
it is, yeah,
Yes, but a lot of African women were conditioned to depend upon men for survival. So they're coming from that mentality and that mindset, whereas a lot of African American women unfortunately had to be strong. They had to be A lot of, first daughters had to be the male backbone of their house. They had to go start working at 14, 15, 16 years old to help their mom support the household because there's so many fathers that were not present. So it's just a completely different upbringing. Doesn't necessarily come from intention. It's more that, I do believe that African American women, and I am one, um, a lot of times have been put into a more masculinized role in the household, not by their own choice.
Okay, so let's say they get a man or a spouse that's realistically 90% of what they wanted. Okay, no one's perfect. Does she dial down on that aggressiveness? Does she dial down on that mother's behavior, like talking to that man as if that man's her son? I just want to know.
I think it depends because I think in ways, like say last week, and in ways we kind of get caught up in talking about the stereotype versus the actual type. You know what I mean? So I think in many ways it's easy to talk about the stereotype because the stereotype is in our faces all the time. So it's easy to speak against them, just like the same way they can speak against the stereotypical black dude. You know what I mean? And they can talk about what the stereotype black man doesn't do this and that and the third. And we can go on to black women, the stereotype the same way. So I think the answer to your question would be yes and no. Because the stereotypical one that we like to pick on social media all the time, of course she's never going to dial it down. She's never going to try to do it. It's always going to be about herself. It's always going to be selfish and blah, blah, blah. Same way the stereotypical version of us is all about ourselves. We just going to get this girl, that girl. You know what I mean? We do what we do. But reality goes to show that actually in many ways we kind of really are in a bit of like a duality type of a thing. Like we kind of battle between these two things. You know what I mean? So and as a result, there's the one standpoint we want to do right, but at the same time, there's also the pressure not to do so. You know what I mean? So I think that's what the real big thing is. When it comes down to accountability, how true are we to our partner and what they want? You know what I mean? Like how true are we, or do we really count them to make sure that that's what we want? You know what I mean? Like say, I want to do this thing, but it's going to go against her. You know what I mean? Is it going to hurt her? A lot of times we don't like to balance that. We just like to say, I'll deal with that when it comes. You know what I mean? So I think that's where the accountability gets lost because a lot of times we don't want to do the part where we think before we act.
Right.
More questions?
Now, I want to bring some of the points up that were discussed last week that may have not had a counterbalance, and I want to see what the ladies got to say. So,
we know what side what side you're on. You know what I'm saying?
Look, so I got one. So I looked at, remember Adam L said I'm always collecting data, so that's a real thing.
Yeah, I know.
So several panelists last week argued that girls were raised with fewer consequences than boys. Boys learn accountability through like physical and social repercussions, like fights and peer correction, while girls, and this is a quote, pacified as little queens and shielded. The argument is that this creates adults who never had to own their mistakes. Now, I don't know who said that. I'm not putting anybody out there, but I want y'all to speak on it. Own y'all piece.
I think that's
I'm ready
household
to
specific.
speak on it.
That's
I'm so ready to
specific.
speak
in that chat.
That is household specific. You know, whoever said that, they must have seen that in their personal household. And a lot of times, yo, and I'm sad to say it, but a lot of times, bro, if you grew up in a household where you are the only male in the household, you tend not to get it that worse because you're going to get it worse outside. You feel me? Because, unfortunately, you feel me? And I feel like this happens to the women also, but like, we don't really, even though we're children, we get treated as men early. You get what I'm saying? We get seen as men early. Like we deal with adult consequences earlier. You feel me? Just by the nature of our phenotype and / skin tone. So I think that since you are the only, if you grow up in an environment, in a household where you are the only man, like you will catch it, you feel me? But I don't think you might catch it as much as I don't think that that's true. I think that's a situational thing. I think it goes both ways. I don't think that that's true. I think that's situational.
I think there's kind of a peripheral blindness. I think that women are taught consequences and very harshly too, but in different ways. And because they're not taught in the same way, you might like do something and get your ass beat, and then your sister does something and she doesn't, and you're thinking, oh, like that's not fair, whatever. And that's true. Like there is a lot more, I guess, physical repercussions toward boys, I think, in most households. But with women, I find it's more passive aggressive, you know. It can be little subtle things that a little boy wouldn't necessarily pick up on. Like if, she doesn't set the table properly and then her mom just sighs and goes silent treatment the rest of the night, sort of thing. He might not even pick up on that, but she's picking up on it. And that's why I think women develop so much more emotional intelligence so early, is because they have to pick up on those little subtle passive aggressive signs to learn their place in society.
I got another one. So another one was the argument is that women's respect and femininity are transactional. Now, this is one of the most persistent arguments that women calibrate their softness and submission based on what a man provides. They behave differently with their bosses, white partners, higher status, and with men of higher status.
Pretty sure
I'm pretty sure I knew you said that.
This was a
I've heard you say that before.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Lord.
Sorry.
I think it's true.
Okay.
I think it's
I
true.
think it's true.
I've seen that. I've actually seen that in action.
I think it's true,
I've seen
too.
that in action. I've seen that happen. Because I've seen it where I had a coworker, and she always talked down to her dude all the time, be on the phone. Like, oh. As soon as the boss comes, hey, what do you need, Robert? What do you need? Da, da, da. Like,
That's a livelihood. That's a livelihood, though. That's a professional setting. If it appears that she's code switching like that, that's the reason. It's not she want to be kissing white butt. Like, I don't get what y'all saying.
No, she look comfortable doing it. She look comfortable
Real quick,
doing it.
not to get off topic. Just say if her husband or significant other was her boss, would she have the same type of respect and that same capacity for that man, knowing that she knows that man, knowing that she sleeps next to that man? If he does this, is she gonna have the same respect for her significant other? I think not.
Why do you think black women just don't have respect for their partners for some reason? You just keep
No, I think it's
reiterating that for some reason. Yeah,
I think they need money for respect. I do believe in that. I think you need money for respect.
You need money for respect.
Behind that.
So we have to buy women's respect.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh shit.
Money.
Absolutely, yes. If a guy has no
See.
car, no house, he's not getting even a response to a DM.
Maybe not respect, but attention. Maybe attention.
I have
Maybe
a
my
question.
energy.
I have a very serious question. How do y'all feel about double standards? How do y'all feel about double standards, right?
There are no double standards. Men are just that savage with how women look,
No, here's
His
what I'm
wife gains
saying.
20 pounds and all of a sudden he wants to leave her.
Here's what I'm saying, though.
But if that man loses $20 out of his bank account, you leaving too, right? So
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right. So we not partners. We
not
are.
think that.
So men are ATMs, basically. Okay, all right. This is some other shit right here. I have a question though, real talk. Because we live in an era, right, where it's a popular thing to say that a man has to make, and a black man has to make a black woman comfortable enough to be in her femininity. I don't understand that, because aren't you born as a woman, so it is your nature to be feminine? In reverse, if a man told a woman that you have to make me comfortable enough for me to be in my masculinity, he would look crazy. He would be frowned upon. He would be called a BAN and any other term that fits. And I would agree that is BAN behavior, and that's a phrase that would only come out of that type of person's mouth. That sounds ridiculous. But and on the flip side in the society, that doesn't sound ridiculous coming from a woman to say that you have to make me feel comfortable enough for me to be feminine when you are supposed to be feminine because by nature you are a woman. You feel me? Like, am I wrong about that? Is that crazy? Like, that's a very serious double standard, and I feel like that doesn't make any sense. I feel like regardless of, like, yes, as a man, I'm supposed to be just even before we had all of this, right? A man was supposed to be a hunter-gatherer. He's supposed to go out there and get it. I understand all of that, and I agree with that. I agree with that a man is supposed to be a provider and a man is supposed to do X, Y, and Z. But what about the flip side of that? A man is not going to do X, Y, and Z unless you are doing your X, Y, and Z. It shouldn't be one way. And if he doesn't do his X, Y, and Z, then you're not going to. You feel me? It's like a passive aggressive type of thing.
Where's the love in this business relationship?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Where is the love and where's
the love in the business relationship?
Because like a lot of
men
sisters
are seen
say,
as predators first, you know. Men are seen as predators first and protectors second. You have to kind of prove yourself and your safety.
I'm sorry, we looked at as predators. Predators to no. Like how Hillary Clinton called us super predators.
Like when you approach a woman, the first thing she's gonna think of is predator. After that, you know, you gotta.
But where did we come? Where did we come to a society where the woman mindset is like that? I'm sure this was not back in the day, 20, 30 years.
No,
where's this mindset coming from? Where he's prejudged before he even speaks to you.
I mean, would you let your daughter go in a men's bathroom?
No, I wouldn't. But I think that's a different analogy.
I don't understand that analogy.
Yeah, it's a different analogy. Just say, all right, I'll prejudge a woman before I say.
You assume that stranger men are dangerous, obviously.
I wouldn't want my woman to go in the men's bathroom because she don't have she don't have the weaponry of choice to enter that environment. That's for a certain specific. You get what I'm saying? Like that's a certain environment for a certain makeup. Like I wouldn't go into a woman's bathroom, so I don't really understand.
But I think you going into a woman's bathroom is not dangerous, but a woman going into a men's bathroom is dangerous.
Wouldn't they say? But I think they would say that would be dangerous for the women by the men going in a woman's bathroom. That's the way they would.
Yes.
Right. So
I want to get back to the prejudgment, right? Where you said a man is predator first and love second or something like that. How you know that for sure if you don't sit and know the guy?
We don't know that. But again, it's so many cases where men can be dangerous. It's not something y'all have to deal with women for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like men are also dangerous to other men. So of course they're dangerous to women. So yeah, we might have our guard up, you know, like you're trying to protect yourself. You know, I don't just mean this. I have no idea what he could do to me. You know what I mean? Like all types of stories happen with women, you know, I don't want to say the words on, you know, but you know, things that happen, violent things.
So let me ask, is it like that with all men or just men that y'all don't find attractive?
What are you talking about? It has nothing to do with attraction. We're talking about literally men that are dangerous. It doesn't matter. A man like, could be.
Because she said when she see a man, she thinks predator first, and then, you know, he might not be a predator.
It doesn't make somebody.
Is this a general statement, though?
Is him being physically attractive? It make him less of a predator. That's all I'm asking.
No, because they can still be predatory and be attractive. What does that have to do with anything?
When you see his man never spoke to you, see him across the room. If you look at him and you think that he's handsome, do you also think that he's a predator? That's what I'm asking. I think he could
still be. Yeah, two things can be true at once, right? I can be like, oh, that's an attractive man, but I also can. I don't think the word predator. I think
he's a predator.
It's not the word.
No. Is that what it's like?
I don't think the word predator. I think I want to make sure I'm safe because I have had things happen to me. I know plenty of women have had things happen to them. You understand what I'm saying? Like multiple times. So it doesn't, I can think somebody's attractive, but also I can have my guard up.
Actually, the perfect analogy is like when you go to jail, right? When you go to jail, I mean, you're kind of scared to take a shower, right? Like you don't want to drop the soap. Like that's what it's like being a woman every day.
Wait a
every
minute.
day,
Hold on.
right? Like y'all are scared.
As a woman, though, if you go to jail, are you afraid to drop the soap?
You could also still experience violence in women's prisons too, but that's also a violent,
like less, right?
It's more
Like
likely,
less.
of course, in those male prisons. But yeah, she's making a point about it.
No,
like
the
y'all would
culture
be
of
scared
rape.
in a room full of dudes who want
I'm
to
gonna go
do
buy my
stuff to
shorts.
you
I'm gonna get some money on my books.
too.
I'm
You
gonna get
know,
some money on
like
my books,
if you
and I'm
had
gonna buy
10
my
guys
shorts
looking at
because
you
they
in
can
a
take your
sexual
drawers. They can't
way,
take your
y'all would
shorts.
be scared.
I think we're getting off topic.
They can't take your shorts, y'all. I'm gonna get money on my books, and I'm gonna buy my shorts, and I'm gonna go take my shower.
So, ladies, real quick.
We did kind of go off the rails a little.
Yeah, we went off the rails. So,
Shower,
ladies,
shoe, Lord. What?
real quick. So, y'all saying in order for a man to be worthy in your space, he must acquire some type of financial stability, right? That's what y'all saying. For him to be a good guy, a man of
I don't
choice.
know.
Right?
I don't know if I'm sorry. Is her name Gemma?
Say it again.
Keisha. I don't know if Keisha agrees with me, but I say yes.
So, okay. So the fact that he has a car, a house, 97,000, 100K in his bank account, that makes him the perfect mate. He's a nice guy.
No, it doesn't make him the perfect mate. It means your kids are gonna eat. What are your kids gonna eat? Love?
No, not necessarily, but do y'all settle for the guy who, let's say he's a trash man. He makes 30,000 a year, but he's a hard worker. He goes out every day. He's loyal. He's faithful. He loves his children. He teaches children knowledge and understanding. He treats you like a queen. He's not worthy of that.
Pretty good money.
I'm not being with nobody make 30,000 a year. That's absolutely not happening.
No. Also, let me ask this question.
Dang.
Does this apply to your brothers and
He
uncles?
can find a
and,
nice woman at his local church.
Yeah,
That isn't me.
that's a little too.
Hey, church got the freaks. Church got the freaks too. Don't worry. Church got the freaks too. You gonna be all right.
No, let's see, but I think that they're talking practical though, from a practical lens. You know what I mean? Because if you think about people getting together, say a guy meets a girl and she gets pregnant at some point, you're gonna hope that he's gonna be able to take care, to be able to maintain things in the meantime while she's maintaining the pregnancy. You know what I mean? So
you don't think that man can become a supervisor or own the trash company that he works for within 10 years? So y'all just automatically.
Yeah, that's like dating a girl who's super ugly and being like, well, after she goes to Colombia, she can be hot. Like,
no,
you wouldn't.
See, men.
No, we can fix our financial stature. If you cook, you cook. We can get a better job.
No,
we
it's
can get
surgery,
more jobs.
man. Turkey's like $5,000 all inclusive.
Nah, even listen. Even if a woman is unattractive, we're not gonna use the ugly because there's somebody out here for everybody. Let's say if the woman's unattractive at first, right? Mm-hmm. Surface level. You get to know that woman and you find a beauty in her that surpasses how she looks. She's a beautiful person inside, right? And that woman, you're gonna miss out on that opportunity because of cosmetics. Well, she ugly. But that woman that you deem ugly, down the road, she's gonna be the best mother for your children. She's gonna be a ride or die. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna have your back in hard times. That's what people are looking for in a relationship, not cosmetics, because them things go. That Bentley get a flat. That house go for foreclosure. That job disappears. Then what?
You're speaking sense, but I don't know if people apply that sense in reality. I think that they do turn away good people.
I agree with you. Younger men, though, like as older men, that's what we look at in women. But younger men are a whole lot more like, if she ain't hot, then I don't want it. That's and you looking for a wife when you're young. So yeah, I agree, yet I disagree.
And they get the Wicked Witch of the West instead of Dorothy.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened.
And every woman want her Prince Charming to come to her and pull into town on his white horse, when they forgot the key point of the fairy tale is that he had to find the fairest mate. You get what I'm saying? The frog had to kiss the princess in order to become a prince, right? But she would know that if she just look at the frog and say, hey, get away from me, you got warts and cooties. You know what I'm saying? So life is not a fairy tale.
But the
You
risk
got
is too high. Like, what if you settle for the guy making 30 grand a year and then he's out still cheating on you? Or
that's
you could be
different.
with the
That's
guy
different.
who's
That's different.
$500,000
So
a
you
year
would
and
rather
cheating on you.
cry in a Maybach than in the Honda Accord?
Period.
Word is born. Okay, all right. I see. All right.
No, Mike.
Word.
Okay.
Or crying a Rolls Royce. I hear you. All right.
All right. Unfortunately, this was beautiful, and we should have more episodes and shows like this. But as you know, we gotta bounce. You know, I'm sure everybody
Do
got
we make
things
up
to
for
do.
last week? Do we make up for last week? Do y'all think?
We did. Y'all fellas, y'all didn't represent like y'all should have. You know, y'all was like very watered down and PG, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
I think every question got answered appropriately. I think.
Yeah.
That we got down to the root of it.
Yeah. All right. I'm your host, Adam Mill. It's because the governor, where can they find you?
thegovernorsmansion.net.
Jammer One, hopefully I said that right. Where can they find you?
JAMMA_WUN on Instagram.
Skills Mega, where can they find you?
These skills has on IG.
Ty, you off the grid. We know
Don't
that.
try to find me.
Okay.
Nostalgia music.
Miss Yarn, if I'm pronouncing that right, where can
That's
they find you?
right.
Where can they
Jan
find you?
Arthur Francis, YANN Arthur Francis, Instagram handle.
That's what's up. And Miss Keisha, right?
Don't find me, no.
Okay, you want the grid. You want the grid. I got you. You can find Guess I Said on all platforms. I took it off of X because it was just annoying. Other than that, that's it. I enjoyed this panel. It was very interesting. I'm sure we got a lot through, and you know, if I leave with anything tonight, y'all some Jay-Z haters. So that's it. That's all I can say. Y'all are Jay-Z haters. Shame on y'all. And he just trying to push the culture forward. He's not trying to drink blood and run around in a bird costume and sacrifice little ones. You know what I'm saying? As y'all claim he is. You know, so if I walked away with anything, I learned that y'all some haters of Jay-Z. Jay, if you ever listening, call at me, man. Call at me. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. All right.
Oh.
All right, peace, y'all. Enjoy y'all weekend.
All right.